Hello and welcome to Easy Like a Sunday Morn. I'm your host, TheShaneLockwood, and I'm back. It's been a month or so since I've been off air. I think the last episode was on July the 1st, or was it June the 1st? I don't know, I'll have to look that up. But I hope that you're doing well, and I want to thank everybody who has been listening to my podcasts of late. It has been a month, has been a while, and I'm recording this live on my way to visit another friend who he works at a soup kitchen called Fred's Van, and you can Google that. It's an extension of the St. Augustine's, I think. No, it was at St. Vinny's. St. Vincent de Paul? Yeah, it's St. Vinny's, so scratch that. If you Google St. Vincent de Paul and you Google Fred's Van, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's a van that basically pulls up in front of a few locations. One of them is a local church, and they set up tables, and they have hot dogs and fruit and sandwiches and soup. What else? So they have fruit. They have dessert as well. So they're basically a meal for homeless people. Not just homeless people, but people who feel like they need a meal. It's an extension of part of the church's outreach and all that sort of stuff. So when I get a little bit more financially stable, I'm going to donate a large sum of money to them, because they've kept me alive in a number of situations. Financially, when things go bad, you do have to rely on these services and things like that. I know a lot of people hate that these things exist, and they shouldn't exist. There should be plenty of work for everybody, and nobody should be discriminated against, and everybody should be putting in their hard work and all that sort of stuff. But the way economies work, people sometimes lose their jobs, or people are mentally ill, or they become drug addicts, or whatever reason, or they decide to have kids early, and not just 1 or 2 kids, I'm talking about 5 kids. It's enough to send anybody to the poorhouse. So, and I'm not advocating that people go out and do those sorts of things. You do have to make wise life decisions. And one of those is whether or not to have kids. One of those is to stay sober, channel your money into improving your life so that you can get enough sleep, so that you can get to work on time and all that sort of stuff. Your life is up to you, and things like that. So I want to say thank you to everybody who supports St. Vincent de Paul and things like that. I think they also do second-hand clothing and furniture and that sort of stuff at their various locations. But I try and avoid these places as much as possible, because there's a certain mindset that comes with it, and you begin to rely on these things. But I haven't been there in, a month or so, so I'm coming to meet my friend Jeff, who was diagnosed with prostate cancer, I think, and bowel cancer at the same time. And so he's going through chemo and things like that. The last time I saw him a month ago, he was doing a lot better. So that's amazing. But the time before that, he looked really drained. So I hope when I see him today, he'll be a lot better, and even with the next podcast, I'll give an update and all that rest of it. So, good things happening. Now, what have I done personally? I've done several videos on YouTube, and I set up another channel called The Benefit of Doubt. Well, no, it's just called Benefit of Doubt. And there is no direct link to the channel because of the Google Plus integration. They've stuffed the whole thing around. So I may have to put a link to the channel when I upload this and to YouTube. Maybe you'll be able to click on the link afterwards. I'm recording this not as a live show but off air, so I can have it when I push it over to YouTube, it becomes easier. Anyway, please leave a comment when you're listening to this. Let me know what you actually do while you're listening to this. I know a lot of people have this playing in the background, and yeah, it's always good for me to know what it is that you're actually doing. Now, some people do artwork, some people do whatever, right? They compose music or whatever, but they have this in the background just to either break the monotony, break the silence and things like that. And I do recommend that people do their own podcasts. You may be successful, you may not be. My podcast gets listened to every day actually. Not a whole lot, but and I do realise I'm rambling. I haven't taken any notes, and this show, because I'm walking, you can hear that I'm slightly out of breath. Because I'm walking, I can't access Google or anything like that, and there's going to be a lot of traffic noise. But we'll digress. And I don't think it'll be a full 30 minutes. I just calculated that it would probably take me it's taken me less time than I thought, but I thought that it would take at least 15-20 minutes to get into the suburb, the main city suburb thing where I live, and which I'd prefer to remain anonymous a little bit, but I thought it might take 20 or so minutes to get there, and that way I could clear my head of whatever else that's going on. One of the things that's happened that's become quite a surprise and has become really successful is a relaxed form of me just doing a sort of a vlog, very much like this one, but on YouTube, and just discussing things that, not really rants so much, but things that are happening within the YouTube community that are somewhat annoying. The next one I'm going to do will be about the raw vegan movement, and how there's a lot of lies and stuff and a lot of fear tactics and things that they get to spread the message. But the other thing is that some of the behaviour of some of the people, but the thing that really gets me is they're saying and suggesting and implying that switching to a raw vegan diet will in fact cure or reverse cancer, and that's horrifying. That's terrible, right? Because it's not true. The only treatment we have for cancer is chemotherapy. It's the only thing that we know that works. Excuse me, I wasn't expecting a motorbike. It's illegal for motorbikes to go through this area. It was a dirt bike, so I apologise if that destroyed your speakers. Oh, I can smell the gasoline. But yeah, so yeah, they're saying that these things cure cancer and whatnot, and it's just not true. I mean, if my friend decided, oh, I'm only going to eat organic food and things like that, he would be rendered poverty-stricken very, very quickly, and he's not rich to start with. And then having cancer, and then having to pay for, chemotherapy and all that sort of stuff. It's not good. Let's see. What else were they doing? Oh yeah, they were attacking YouTube celebrities in order to gain some notoriety. And what happens is those bigger YouTubers, the ones with millions of subscribers, all they've got to do is name drop you once, and then you're in the money, see? And that's why they do it. They attack bodybuilders, and it's just a very twisted ideology. Now, I don't have a problem with like veganism so much, but there's an orthorexia, which is a eating disorder where you're obsessed with healthy food. There's an eating disorder similar to that where, and this is only within the raw food movement, is that people are scared to cook food because they think that cooked food causes acne and all this sort of stuff. I'm thinking even slightly steamed broccoli, they won't do that. And you think, no, that's crazy. Once you start messing around with like food obsessions and I can't eat this and I can't eat that, there are people starving in various countries, right? They don't have a choice. They don't have a choice where their next meal is coming from. So if it's meat or whether it's cooked or whatever, and these people have the audacity and the arrogance to turn their nose up at certain food stops. That to me is crazy. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop this for this week. And I will catch up with... Hang on, I'll pause it for a little bit. Okay, back at it. Sorry for the break there. Yeah, the other thing is like they'll attack other YouTubers, bodybuilders. They will say that milk causes cancer and all sorts of weird and wonderful things. So if you were to start incorporating their diet or their advice, like a lot of young, gullible and susceptible people are, you soon find that you'll end up with no money because everything has to be organic. You have to pay top-notch prices for everything. Everything has to be gluten-free. You know, it's crazy. I'd rather pay 65 cents for a 500-gram bag of pasta than pay $5 for the same thing. More. I think it's $5.45 or something for a gluten-free pasta of the same amount. You know, you got to make up your own decisions and things like that, but you got to be aware of, you know, bargains but not just bargains, but where you're being ripped off and lied to and things like that. Question everything. But yeah. What I'm going to do, I'll leave this at 15 minutes, I think. It's just a quick tide me over until I can do like a proper show, and I'll do a lot more research and get back to you, because I don't like talking about stuff that I don't have evidence for. But yeah, and I'm in public now, so this is starting to become rather awkward. And there's lots of arms and arms. I don't care, I'm not cutting them out. A lot of people say to do that, but I'm not going to. But this is because I promised for ages that I do a show, and this is the show, and that's my 15 minutes up.
I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment with the code word cinema, C-I-N-E-M-A, cinema, and that lets me know who listened to this. Well, it's only 15 minutes, but you don't know who's listening or whatnot. If you can, please click the like, thumbs up, share this if you enjoyed it. It's just a little bit of a ramble, yeah, I'll catch up with you next time. Bye for now, have a great week.